Hello, my name's Zoe. I'm a medical herbalist. I'm also part of the Radical Herbalism Collective, where we put on gatherings up and down the country based on putting herbal medicine into the context of health, social and environmental justice. I'm just going to do a few videos because people are phoning me up and messaging me and asking me all sorts of different questions to do with herbs, for everything that's going on in the world at the moment and for this virus that's happening. So I'm just going to do this video, which is basically about the principles of herbal medicine, just some really key principles that I think we need to remember when we turn into herbal medicine to support our bodies. And then I'm going to do a video on the herbs that you have around you, so the herbs that are growing now in spring, which you can go and collect in your daily exercise that you're allowed, and then a video on the herbs that you have in your kitchen and in your kitchen cupboards, and one on diet and nutrition for the body. So what I first want to say is just I think it's just really important to remember that herbal medicine is holistic medicine. So it's not reductionist medicine, which is what our modern medicine system is. So holistic medicine means, holism means that the whole is more than the sum of its parts. Whereas reductionist medicine is about breaking things down into the smallest part and fixing it. So herbal medicine, where it's holistic, treats the root cause of the illness. It doesn't treat the illness, it treats the person. It is person-centered, and that means that you use different herbs for different people. So if you had 3 or 4 people going to see a herbalist for eczema, though there's a few specific herbs that all come away with a different mixture of herbal medicines depending on their body. And the other thing is how herbs work. So herbs work with the body's physiological, natural healing responses. So they encourage the body to do what it would do anyway, and they support the body to do that. Whereas sort of modern medicine, whereas modern medicine is reductionist, what they do is they don't treat the root cause. They use drugs that only really offer symptomatic relief. And they have a standard cure for all, so everybody with depression would get an antidepressant drug. So herbs work completely different to that. They work with the body, they work with the person, they work holistically, and they work differently for different people. And people have different relationships to herbs. So if you've used herbal medicine before, then at the moment, now's the time to go and use the herbs that work for you, the ones that you have used before. And if you haven't, then now's the time to go and connect with the herbs that have been calling to you, and just start to get to know your body a little bit and the herbs. So it's about our relationship to plants. Herbal medicine is about our connection to nature and about our relationship to plants. So now's the time to start connecting and making that relationship to plants. And just like people, some people will get on with people, and some people will not get on with people. And it's the same with plants. You know, you might get on with some more than others. The other thing I want to say is that we've got a lot of resources at this time. So whereas modern medicine, it doesn't have antivirals, we do. So we have antiviral herbs, we have anti-anxiety herbs, we have immune stimulant herbs that work on boosting the immune system. And that would be how we approach this virus at the moment, as a flu, as a cold, in supporting the immune system, really encouraging the body's natural immune response, and then supporting the lungs and the lung tissue because it's specific to the respiratory system, and then any other herbs that you need, that suit you, that help your body be stronger at this time. Herbs, you have to take them regularly. They're not like drugs. You have to take them incredibly regularly for them to work, and they do work when you take them regularly, which means so your medicinal dose as a preventative is 3 times a day. So whether that's 5 ml of a tincture 3 times a day, or whether that's a cup of a herbal tea blend or a herbal tea 3 times a day. You must take them regularly and continuously, both if you're ill and as a preventative before and afterwards. If you do have an acute condition, so if you do feel like you're in the middle of this virus, or you're really in the middle of what's flu symptoms, then you can take them up to 6 to 10 times a day, or every hour would be an appropriate regular intake of a medicinal dose for when you're in an acute condition. And the other thing is to remember is that herbs are really safe. So there's like a few people running around as well saying, well, I'm not sure if the yarrow is appropriate here, or I'm not sure if I should take yarrow for this condition. But actually, herbs are incredibly safe. People don't die from herbal medicine. Obviously, if you're complex and you have lots of different conditions and you're on lots of different pharmaceutical drugs, there are interactions, and you should do so under the supervision of a herbalist. But otherwise, there's nothing really to fear. So I'd recommend people just being confident. For herbs are basically food. They're food medicine, and if all our food should come from the soil, so does our medicines. So yeah, just a little bit. That's just a little bit to just to the principles of herbal medicine. So it just feels like a little bit there's people are putting a reductionist attitude to herbal medicine and sort of running around and saying what specific herb is specific for this virus. That's not how herbs work. Herbs work with the individual, they work with the person, they work with the whole body. They don't work the same as drugs. If you do need to access herbal medicines, then there's the Solidarity Apothecary is currently putting together a directory of herbs that are available on a sliding scale. My website is www.zoeandthenettles.co.uk. My email is nettlesandhealth@gmail.com. Have a look at the Solidarity Apothecary. You could also find your local herbalist via the National Institute of Medical Herbalists website, where you can put in your postcode and find your local herbalist. But what the Solidarity Apothecary are doing are collating a directory of people that offer a sliding scale, because I think it's important to quite a few herbalists at the moment that none of this stuff is inaccessible to people financially. So that's probably your site to look at to make sure you can access herbal medicines at not a ridiculous price. So that's all for this video, and I just want this video, so the other videos that I'm going to do, this needs to underline, just you need to remember the principles of herbal medicine. Yeah, okay, thank you very much.